Hello, everyone, and welcome to Albuquerque, New Mexico. The regular season is done. The playoffs are here, and there's 90 minutes to keep the dream alive. Welcome into the lab. My name is Tyler Ortega, joined by Chris Hurst. And Chris, tonight we've got number 6 San Antonio taking on number 3 New Mexico. This is the 4th time these two teams have met this season. New Mexico victorious on all 3 previous accounts.
Yeah, but as anyone says going into playoffs in any sport whatsoever, it doesn't matter. Now it's like a brand new season starting. Form is out the window. Who wants it more, and who wants to keep on playing into later into November?
Well, let's
At Blake's, we're proud to call our food fresh. We think every burger should be cooked to order and fresh off the grill. This patty's big, blockbuster big, and 100% Angus beef. Now, the finishing touch. This is a superior meat to bun ratio for the best burgers your mouth's ever tasted. Blake's Fresh Take is worth the wait.
Robert reading for Victor, and action.
Mary, I love you more than anything, but this student debt, it's like a weight I can't shake. I'm drowning.
Now you're angry. Go.
But this student debt, it's like a weight I can't shake. I'm drowning.
You're full of sorrow.
I'm drowning.
And cut. Great. We'll be in touch.
Good thing I went to C&M.
How about Mary?
welcome back here to the lab. It is the USL Championship Western Conference quarterfinal. New Mexico United hosting San Antonio FC. Let's take a look at our starting lineups here tonight. Brought to you by Bank of America. And fans, we would like to let you know to enter the Brinks Tires Family Game Day Kit Sweepstakes for a chance to win a prize pack worth up to $4,000. Scan the QR code on the screen to enter today. So Chris Shakes getting the start here tonight in goal. Chris, this is the first postseason start in the young career of Chris Shakes, having taken over the starting role from the veteran Alex Tambakis midway through the season.
Yeah, huge nod to how he's done. And New Mexico United, maybe a little more rotation. We spoke about it last home game as well. Maybe a little more rotation than what they've done in previous years. Well, Tambakis had the lion's share of the minutes last year, but yeah, Chris Shakes has really made that number 1 jersey his own.
Chris Shakes making his 15th appearance of the season tonight. He's conceded 18 goals, racked up 4 clean sheets so far. But for these two, no strangers whatsoever, Chris. In fact, this here tonight, the 14th meeting between these two teams all time, and the second in the postseason. We're underway here from the lab in Albuquerque. And we talk about their initial meeting in the postseason, and almost onto something was Valentin Noel. And the foul called on Deon Harris, but that was a quick start there for New Mexico.
Yeah, it really was. And, you know, San Antonio had lined up as if they were going to drop the ball back to Tainter and just ping it into an area, but instead decided to play it back through the keeper there. And it almost went really wrong, maybe a little too casual early on, and Noel was sniffing out a chance.
Well, it's Richard Sanchez getting the start in goal for San Antonio. Sanchez in his second season with the club. Made 3 appearances for them last season, making his 27th here tonight. But as I was saying before, that early chance there from New Mexico, this is the second postseason meeting, Chris. You've got to go all the way back to the COVID-shortened season of 2020 for the first time these two teams met. It was at Toyota Stadium. It went to extra time. Some may say there was a handball. It wasn't called. Chris Weehan.
I was just about to say a little bit of controversy at the end of the game with the game-winning goal. I do remember that.
Chris Weehan, the difference maker that night. It was a 1-0 win for New Mexico in San Antonio. You know, and what was funny about that actually is there was a clip posted to social media of that goal by, I believe, the league. It was shared by Chris Weehan with just one little emoji, and it was just a shrug. So take from that what you will. Keller looking to ping this ball forward, finds Deon Harris. Harris cuts inside. He has been a playmaker. Here's Greg Hurst. And Hurst's shot just goes wide. You like to see that early there from the Scotsman.
Decent start by New Mexico United, asking all the questions early on here. San Antonio still trying to find their way into the game. They have started in a back 3, as we maybe suspected. Can't speak tonight, Tyler. Dolomai on the left side of that back 3, but it's been, again, a little slow, a little casual, and New Mexico United just picking off passes kind of at will, and within 2 passes themselves getting shots, and haven't troubled Sanchez in goal yet, but again, nervy moments for San Antonio. Need to settle into this game.
These are two teams that like to build out of the back. Greg Hurst puts a turn on it. He's yanked down. And the early foul called on Dolenmeyer. Very early to be committing a foul like that.
As I say, I think if that wasn't so early on in the game, that might have produced a card, because that was bordering on a rugby tackle right there.
Noel was looking for Deon Harris that time, but just moments ago we had a look at Dennis Sanchez on the touchline for New Mexico. This is his first postseason game with the club, having joined just in the offseason. And in fact, Chris, it was Dennis Sanchez who was on the opposite touchline where Carlos Llamosa is here tonight last season when his Las Vegas Lights ended the season of New Mexico United in the semifinals.
And again, it was another underdog story, right? You know, New Mexico United, #1 seed in the West, and expected to maybe go all the way, but it very rarely happens that way. Just ask Lou City.
That is the gaffer, Carlos Llamosa. He's got San Antonio back in the postseason after they missed out altogether last year. Finished in 9th. This is a team that lifted the League Cup just 3 years ago. Header finds the feet of Deon Harris. Here's Noel. Noel has a pop from distance. Rattles the crossbar. Early warning shots from the black and yellow.
And that's another. Sanchez was rooted to the spot an inch or two lower, and I don't think he was getting there. Bit of a speculative shot maybe from Noel, but he's been involved a lot really early on, and that's worrying for San Antonio. But you see, he just kind of looks up and thinks, why not? And that dip right at the end, he took that shot from another yard out. I think that was dipping underside the bar.
Well, Valentin Noel, he is no stranger to hitting absolute worldies. In fact, the first goal, the only goal that he scored here at the Lab so far, was against his former club in Las Vegas Lights, as he scooped one over Raiko Arozarena's head from a good 40, maybe 45 yards out. This ball lifted forward. This is Flores. Plays it back. Turns possession back to New Mexico. Akale loses this one. Hernandez gets it up to Flores. Cross goes in. It was headed away by Kalen Ryden. Chris Shakes grabs the ball, and that gives us time for this 5:29 game update brought to you by the Education Plan. That's New Mexico's state-sponsored 529 plan. Give your kids a better and brighter future. Learn more at theeducationplan.com. This is Kalen Ryden on the pitch tonight, having announced his retirement following the conclusion of this season, Chris. This could be the final time we see Kalen Ryden on the pitch, or it couldn't, being that Louisville City have now been eliminated from the postseason. That means somebody else is going to be hosting the final, and we don't know who that's going to be.
I tell you what, I hope it's obviously. I hope it's not the last time here at the Lab this season, but I happen to be in the vicinity of the players' entrance as the players arrived, and I think we have to have a shout out to Kalen Ryden. He must have been best dressed today. That velvet jacket he had on today. I hope there's a photo out there somewhere.
These are our keys to the game, brought to you by the Somos Unidos Foundation. Chris, talk to us about them.
Hernandez, obviously we talked about that in the pre-game, trying to keep him contained, account for him and make sure that he doesn't have a big say in the game. Positive momentum, New Mexico United coming into the game, just riding that wave and seem to have carried that on early on in the game as well. And that home field advantage, you can hear the crowd really enjoying the start, the positive start that New Mexico United have had. And also San Antonio have had some struggles on the road this season. Right? They've only managed 4 wins so far this season. 2 of those were back in March. The other one was in July. The last away win, the last time they tasted victory on the road was in September.
Deon Harris playing this ball in and was searching for Valentin Noel, once again headed away by Noah Dolenmeyer. I know you said earlier, Chris, during the pregame, form goes out the window when it gets to the postseason. But one thing you can't deny when you look at these two teams in terms of recent results, San Antonio, before that 5-2 win last week, they had been winless in their previous 5, and not just winless, they hadn't even managed one single goal in that stretch.
Yeah, it's crazy. We joked about it. It's like kind of like London buses. That's the saying, right? Is you wait for one and then 5 turn up at once. I think 3 is actually what they say. Is the 3 turn up at once, but we'll say 5 for this one. But prior to that, the last goals that they'd scored was a 3-1 win against Orange County.
This ball comes back to Zalalem.
And then the last away win that we talked about in September, they'd put 5 on Loudoun in a 5-2 win there as well. So, the 5-2 win against El Paso, it's not unheard of that when San Antonio, when they turn up and they've got their shooting boots on, it can spell trouble for the opposition.
Foul called against New Mexico. TLC free kick coming up. That is our official here this evening, Joshua Encarnacion. Assistant referees, Christian Clerk and Fernando Fierro. And our fourth official tonight is Corbin May. This is the captain, longtime San Antonio man, Mitch Tainter. Tainter, talk about a veteran to this league. Over 270 appearances. Beautiful conditions here in Albuquerque this evening, Chris. Starting to finally feel like fall here in New Mexico this week.
It is. I'm, getting a little worried that there might be some leaves dropping soon, and the yard work's going to get busy because it's starting to get cold at night, and obviously the clock's changing tonight as well. The dark nights are upon us, so yeah, before we know it, it'll be Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving only means one thing, and that is USL Final. Both of these teams are looking forward to making a run there. New Mexico looking to pick up their first piece of silverware. This ball finds Dayon Harris. The offside flag is up. But you talk about somebody, Chris, who has been a difference maker for this New Mexico United side. Dayon Harris, since coming back from that torn ACL just past midseason, he's been fantastic.
Speed kills. It's just and he is just so explosive in his pace but still manages to bring the ball under his spell as well. And when you balance that, I think you talk about balance of the team. You balance that on the opposite side with Akale as well. Maybe while Harris was out, or maybe while there was another option on the left-hand side, Akale was drawn a little bit more attention from the opposition, and they were able to double up on him maybe. But now that Harris is over there, the defensive line of all the opposition have to basically defend the entire width of the field now.
This is former New Mexico man Alexi Sawahi. Sawahi spent the 2022 season in black and yellow, 25 appearances. He scored once. And then he came back last season, Chris, as a member of FC Tulsa, and scored twice in one match against New Mexico.
Yeah, that's a theme I'm sure all over the world is former players coming back to haunt, and I don't know if anyone ever does any research on that, but in the States here, there's so much movement of players between seasons, less long-term contracts. I'm sure it happens even more over here.
Kale able to offload that to the former San Antonio man, Zico Bailey. There's Gloucester now. Sends a ball into the 18 and cut out just before it reaches Greg Hurst. Noah Dolenmeyer has been very busy on that back line here, Chris, just through the opening 13 minutes.
Yeah, and you can see why he was brought into the squad. One, he's just an absolute giant, so he just takes up a lot of space there. And that was a great ball, and you could see Greg Hurst's eyes just kind of lit up, just thinking, is that ball going to sneak through? And he would have had a pretty comfortable opportunity there about 10, 11 yards out.
Galen Ryden sends this ball long. Looking to catch Richard Sanchez off his line, but no problem there. Richard Sanchez, 31 years old, out of Mission Hills, California. Here's Maples. Talon Maples, he has been a leader for New Mexico this season, not just in terms of goals scored, but in several defensive categories. Harris cuts this ball in. His shot blocked by Sawahi. Zico Bailey now. He gets tangled up and foul called.
Deon Harris there only had eyes for the top corner. He didn't care who was running where in black and yellow. He was going for goal there. Really positive, cutting in from that left-hand side.
It was the Argentinian Lucio Veron called for the foul. Veron played his college soccer, spent a couple years at Creighton, spent a couple years at Coastal Carolina. Take another look here on this TLC replay. Great little turn by Bailey, and Veron was a little overzealous that time.
And you see how quickly Zico Bailey can change direction. Just caught him off guard there a little bit and did well to just get his body between him and the ball, so just drew the foul.
Kale will deliver this ball into the box. It was headed initially by Taintor. Comes back to Gloucester, now all the way back to Chris Shakes. Shakes last weekend here at home against Rhode Island. 5 saves, conceded once. Gib Keller joined the side in late August, coming on loan from Minnesota United, and he has been a huge addition to this back line as well, Chris.
Yeah, he's an absolute monster in the air. Aerial duels. And there you can see it when, I think it was Taintor, you said, defended the ball into the box there. I think Keller just maybe caught an accidental elbow to the face. He was a little slow getting up there. But, yeah, he's been absolute monstrous at the back for New Mexico United, and that's why he's been keeping Talon Maples, who was unbelievable player for New Mexico United last year, can't get back into the team in the middle of that back four anymore just because of how Keller's been playing.
Akale whistled for the foul, and I think that reaction there from Soto is going to get him a talking to. I think next time Encarnacion is telling him you're going to be booked. Have another look on this TLC replay.
I mean, yeah, he was pretty much just manhandled Akale there. And you see maybe it was a little bit of Akale was trying to be a little cheeky, just tried to pop it through his legs and a little nutmeg, and maybe he was just letting Akale know, don't try that with me.
Noel, he's been quiet since the first couple of minutes. A lot of change in this New Mexico United squad as the season went on, Chris. Talk about guys like Fernando, who is such a playmaker throughout the early parts of this season. He's gone off to Vietnam. Mackenzie Gaines was dealt to Las Vegas Lights. Obviously, the retirement of Daniel Bruce after sustaining a season-ending knee injury. A lot of midseason additions as well. You look at guys like Noel, Keller, Carlos Moguel Jr. As Akale has a shot, it's blocked. Deon Harris, for all intents and purposes, was a midseason addition as well, coming back from a torn ACL. Luther Archimed, he's somebody who we're likely to see later on in this game.
He's no stranger to scoring against San Antonio.
Right about that. Scored one of his 2 goals on the season in San Antonio. The last time these two teams met, he was the difference maker. There's a look at that Miquele Akale shot on that TLC replay. 18 minutes in the books here in Albuquerque. Sawahi chased all the way back into the corner. Hawkinson tries to let this run, and Kalen Ryden sends it back to Shakes. Here's Noel. He's got Hurst. Greg Hurst runs onto this one. Hurst squeaks through, and Makwele Akale has opened up the scoring, and the lab has erupted 20 minutes in.
Unbelievable. I think it was meant to be. The goal during the magic minute as the crowd was going wild. I just got goosebumps up in the booth. That was the loudest cheer I've heard for a goal in a while here. And great play out on that. It was Noel played it into Hurst. Hurst just drives at Swahi. Can't really do too much. Low, hard shot. All Sanchez can do is parry it. And there's Akale. Right place, right time to pop it into the empty net.
Take another look on this TLC replay. Makwele Akale on the spot. And you talk about a man in form right now, Chris. 3 consecutive matches with a goal for Makwele Akale.
Yeah, and I didn't give him enough credit. I said popped it into an empty net. He was under a lot of duress there. I think that's Flores, the despairing lunge at the end. It does really well just to lift it over him as well. And like you say, the cheer. How loud that cheer was here in the lab. That was unbelievable.
Well, that goal is brought to you by New Mexico Orthopedics, getting you back to you. And New Mexico with their first lead of the 2025 postseason. Well, Chris, the last time these two teams did battle here at the lab, it was in late June. New Mexico that night scored 4, including 2 in second half stoppage time
I was just about
to
say,
win that match.
Yeah, it was 2-2 near the end, and that was Fernandez and Vargas, I believe, scored 2 in there after the 90th minute, and they had to put that one to bed. So, again, that looks on paper like a comfortable win for New Mexico United. Anything but.
Well, this could be trouble here. Gloucester able to get on the end of it. Look, San Antonio, they conceded first last week to El Paso and came right back with an equalizer 90 seconds later. And so, not an unfamiliar position.
No, and I'm absolutely sure that was mentioned in the pregame and the scouting report. Is there's an old cliche about the 5 minutes after either scoring a goal or conceding a goal are huge, like to try and get back into the game, you know, when there's that little rush of adrenaline, the happy vibes are flowing, and the concentration's maybe just lapsed a little bit. So a huge 5 minutes here for New Mexico United coming up.
This ball finds Talon Maples, who heads it back to Chris Shakes. Look, in San Antonio, even going back to that match in June, Chris, New Mexico opened the scoring. San Antonio equalized, and then Akale scored, and then San Antonio equalized. And so again, they've shown the ability to battle back, but still a dream start for New Mexico here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, Connor. And you know, July over in San Antonio in the Jägermeister Cup, it was 2-2. New Mexico United went on to win in extra time, and then we talked about the Arshimad goal that sealed the 1-0 victory in the league out there as well. So all games have been really closely contested. Like I say, the 4-2, maybe if you just looked at the score, it doesn't tell the whole picture. But yeah, all the games have been closely contested. So New Mexico United will know that this game isn't over, and San Antonio as well. They have the belief that they showed it as recently as last week that they can come back from a deficit, and they really put one on El Paso. So, and El Paso are no mugs either.
New Mexico searching for a second. Here's Bailey, plays it ahead for Akale. He's got support in the 18. The magician, Makwele Akale, scoring during the magic minute, Chris. Here's Zico Bailey now, trying to get to the end line on Dolenmeyer. Finds a pocket, threads it back into the middle. Gloucester, they switch sides. Bailey does well to keep possession. This ball comes through and Deion Harris is offside.
I tell you what, Sanchez really well done there. He didn't know it was going to be called offside and was really quick off his line and smothered that shot by Harris anyway. But that was really patient play by New Mexico United. Went from the right side to the left and then back across again. It was interesting for a moment there. Keelan Ryden and Keller had switched sides as well, so they almost had the left-footed centre-back on the right side and vice versa. And yeah, they were just popping it around really comfortably. And San Antonio looked like they were maybe struggling legs-wise a little bit, feeling the pace of the game.
This ball pinged forward. Buckmaster gets on the end of it. And Buckmaster unable to win the corner. Reese Buckmaster, he scored the last time these two teams did battle here at the Lab. It was a 76th minute equalizer to tie things up at 2-2, and then Fernando and Marlon Vargas went on to score in second half stoppage to deliver the W to the Kings of Chaos. Well, New Mexico this season scoring first, a really good thing, Chris. 13 wins, just 3 draws, 2 losses when scoring first this season.
Yeah, but looking at those stats, and San Antonio only won 2 when conceding the first goal. Unfortunately for New Mexico United, one of those was last week. So again, the belief is there for San Antonio.
Fans asking for a foul there as Gloucester gets pushed down. This ball finds the feet of Patino. Eventually taken away by Gideon Zalalem. Gideon Zalalem, the former Arsenal man. Spent some time in North London under Arsene Wenger. Zalalem tonight making his 126th professional appearance. 10 yellow cards on the season for Gideon Zalalem. That leads New Mexico United. There's Noel. Big result out of the East is Riverhounds prevailing in penalty kicks. That is a big win over Hartford. We'll have some score updates coming up here for you at the half. It's already been a couple of results, 3 results already finalized here in the USL Championship quarterfinals. Obviously, the one that's going to be grabbing all of the headlines, Chris, is that massive upset out in Louisville. Detroit City as an 8 seed going into the FAM. Not only defeating Lou City, Chris, but holding them to a clean sheet.
Yeah, I mean, that's in itself is pretty impressive. But yeah, that's, again, it was the Eastern Conference final they lost last year, Lou, against Rhode Island. So they went a little deeper, but that's 2 years in a row, finishing top of the pile and not making it all the way to the final. Just proves like the regular season, unbelievable. And what an unbelievable season they've had. I mean, finished so far ahead, 11 points ahead of second place. They clinched so early. We walked in the booth one home game like, Is that X there on by accident on the website? That can't possibly be right.
This ball turned over. Patino has a shot, and no problem there for Chris Shakes. Really, first opportunity there for San Antonio tonight.
Yeah, first test for Shakes, and shows that it's sometimes hard for a goalkeeper when you don't have a whole lot to do, but there the concentration was there and dealt with it really comfortably.
You talk about holding Loose City scoreless at the FAM. Only 3 teams have done so this season, Chris. Detroit City being one of them. New Mexico United being another.
That was Keller's debut.
That sure was.
Being thrown into the bullpen there. And yeah, your first game ever in the USL Championship and first game for New Mexico United and going up against Loose City. Now, when you're talking about comings and goings within the squad, Keller was very much brought in where it was a bit of an injury crisis. Caelan Ryden was out for a while. Naples was out for a while. It's
down in a heap is Valentin Noel. Springs back up, but certainly feeling the effects of that one. Off the restart. Naples plays this across. It's the goal scorer, Makwele Akale. Lovely flick from Noel, but Bailey had trouble controlling it. Now a battle here, and Patino whistled for the foul.
I'll tell you what, Caelan Ryden showed a great turn of pace there, because there was a split second where you thought Patino had just got the legs on him, and Caelan Ryden just got half a step and stepped across his line. Patino just gave him a good old shove for his trouble there, but really good defending by the veteran.
And Carlos Hermoso was on the sideline, tried to plead his case to the 4th official. He was saying it was shoulder to shoulder. Ball kept in by Flores by the slimmest of margins. Nelson Flores, the El Salvador international, has 18 caps for the El Salvadorian national team. Spent part of last season with North Carolina before joining San Antonio. North Carolina with a first-round victory over Loudoun. 1-0, that one final. North Carolina happy to be back in the USL Championship after a brief stint in League One over 3 seasons. Back in the championship, this is their 2nd year. And advancing into the Eastern Conference semifinal. One of these teams will be moving on to the Western Conference semifinal. And Chris, they're going to have to wait until late tomorrow night to find out who their opponent is. Sacramento hosting Orange County out at Heart Health Park in Sacramento tomorrow night. That one's scheduled for a 7 p.m. Pacific kickoff. And so if you're here in New Mexico, that is an 8 p.m. kickoff. And if you're in San Antonio, that's a 9 p.m. kickoff. Hope you don't have to be into work early Monday morning. Peron, he's down, and a little bit of extracurriculars. Looks like we did have a yellow card. It's Gideon Zalalem going into the book. That is his 11th yellow card of the season. That is the most for New Mexico. Yellow cards brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years.
It looked like the San Antonio players were intimating that Zalalem had gone in with his studs high. We're maybe asking for a different colour card.
This sets up a dangerous set piece here for San Antonio. Ball comes in, and Chris Shakes rises above everyone to grab it.
Great goalkeeping by Chris Shakes there. Just takes the pressure off the back line, and it just gives you that, playing as a centre-back, and when you have a goalkeeper who can come and claim through traffic like that, it just gives you that extra sense of security back there.
Dangerous here for San Antonio. Hawkinson rips one, and that's right at Chris Shakes. That could have been trouble.
And that was New Mexico. That was all their own doing as well for New Mexico. Just a little sloppy in possession. It was Tyler Maples got caught in possession, and San Antonio had numbers off to the races there.
We talked about the San Antonio players asking for a red card, and Chris, that wouldn't be the first time that somebody was shown red when these teams battled this season. In fact, if you just go back to their most recent meeting, San Antonio's 16-year-old Landry Walker was shown a red card 31 minutes in, as San Antonio played with 10 men for a good 60 minutes in that match, and it was Luther Archimed finally breaking through 67 minutes in. That was the difference maker. Ball comes in, little give and go. Deon Harris, Zico Bailey has his shot saved. Akale, ball still bouncing around, and Akale sends it wide. Huge opportunity for New Mexico.
What a save. Sanchez, Richard Sanchez, take a bow. The chance there, I think it was Zico Bailey, just redirected the cross from Harris, and he reacted so quickly and pops away. Probably keeps San Antonio in the tie there.
That could potentially be your save of the week from the conference quarterfinal round. And Deon Harris comes up a little gimpy after that challenge there, just trying to run it off. San Antonio in possession here, but Harris, he's hobbled.
Yeah, still trying to get over that save. Sanchez, it was unbelievable, and it's almost Akale, the ball fell to Akale, and I think he was so surprised that the ball wasn't in the back of the net. He wasn't expecting it to come to him, and just couldn't quite think quick enough to get the shot off. Tried to drop it to Zico Bailey, ended up taking the shot himself. It just wasn't there, but unbelievable save. Talk about big moments, and that was a huge moment, and San Antonio definitely came out on top in that moment.
Hawkinson and Buckmaster looking to combine here. And instead, the foul called on Valentin Noel.
That's Suahi just asking him what he's doing for dinner later on. You can see there's been a little bit on that right-hand side for San Antonio, left-hand side for New Mexico United. There's been a little bit of needle. Last couple of challenges. You say Harris went into a meaty challenge and came up a little sore after that one. There was the yellow card for Zalalem as well. So there's been a little bit of extras, let's say, on that side of the field.
And these two teams among the league leaders in yellow cards. In fact, San Antonio were tied with Tulsa for the most this season, 94 yellow cards. New Mexico, not far off, Chris. They had the fourth most in the league at 83. Ball sent in off the set piece and headed away. That was Kalen Ryden in front of his former teammate, Alexi Sawahi. Corner coming up here for San Antonio. Hernandez and Soto both over there. Hernandez will play it in. Dealt with by Maples. Sent back to Hernandez now. Second ball. Header and the save by Shakes.
There's another one. Keepers are both putting in a shift tonight. Now, maybe a little more time to react for Chris Shakes, but again, it was that second phase of the corner. New Mexico United were arms in the air, hoping for an offside call. It didn't come. Back post, directed header, low and away from Shakes, and he did really well to get across his line.
Well, Chris Shakes posted one of his 4 clean sheets on the season last time these two teams met at Toyota Stadium. That 1-0 victory for New Mexico. FC Tulsa and Switchbacks still scoreless 80 minutes in, Chris. Could we be looking at potentially another 8-1 upset as the defending champs on the road? Second week in Tulsa, and that's got to be a tough one for Colorado Springs. They were there last weekend, and the Scissortails came out victorious 3-0 over the Switchbacks. "40 minutes gone by here in Albuquerque. Thank you for joining us on ESPN Plus. If you're watching around the state of New Mexico on New Mexico 50, it is a beautiful night for some USL Championship Western Conference quarterfinal action here at the Lab. My name is Tyler Ortega, joined as always by Chris Hurst as the number 3 seed New Mexico United battling here for the 4th time this season with 6th seed San Antonio FC.
What a first half it's been, though. I mean, playoff soccer at its best. It's had everything. It's had goal mouth scrambles, the goal, the cheer, the loudest cheer I've heard at the Lab. You know, some extra shenanigans on the field as well, with some a little bit of afters after some meaty challenges as well. So hey, what a really entertaining first half.
Well, it is always cinema when these two get together. This series has been very evenly matched throughout history as Maples looks to head this forward for Akale, but Sanchez up to the task. It's the all-time series here between these two. 7 wins for New Mexico, 5 wins for San Antonio, just 1 draw. San Antonio looking to ask some questions here with just a few minutes left in this first half. Cross goes in and into the waiting arms of Chris Shakes.
Chris Shakes again, just really aggressive on those crosses and just, again, giving that little extra confidence for his back line. And San Antonio are going to have to do something really special to beat Chris Shakes in this kind of form.
Ryden able to get ahead on it, but eventually finds the feet of Soto. There's Hernandez. He's drifted in centrally just to try to get a little bit more involved. Not good here for New Mexico. It looks like Chris Gloucester on the far side. He's down in a heap. See that in the top right corner of your screen. Center official Joshua Encarnacion just headed over to check on him. Chris Gloucester joined the club last season. This is his 58th USL Championship appearance in black and yellow. Scored twice so far this season. You talk about somebody, Chris, that has come into this team and locked down his place at that left back spot.
Yeah, missed the early part of the season, or missed a chunk of the early part of the season. And again, talk about balance. I think it was Lindsay played on that left-hand side, and it just wasn't his natural side, you know. So the balance was just a little bit off for New Mexico United, even though the start of the season obviously tremendous with that. I think it was 5 games on 5 wins right at the start, right? But yeah, so he just brings, having a left-footed left back just brings, it sounds so simple, but really is a simple game, and the balance of the team, again, we talked about it earlier with Harris and Akale, both inverted attacking players where they can cut in on their strong foot. Just the balance of the team feels really right now.
This ball is going to head out for a throw-in, and we'd like to let you know, fans, that the USL on CBS Sports Network kicks off the championship playoffs presented by Terminix with 2 quarterfinal showdowns tomorrow. You can catch Eastern Conference number 2 seed Charleston Battery taking on 7th seed Rhode Island FC, 2 p.m. Eastern. That's noon Mountain Time. Then Western Conference 2 seed Sac Republic hosts number 7 Orange County at 9 p.m. Eastern, all on the CBS Sports Network. Well, Chris, there hasn't been a lot of stoppages in this first half, and so we're hearing that there's only going to be 1 minute added on here at the end of the first 45. Plenty of action between these two as that 1 minute now confirmed stoppage time. Brought to you by New Mexico Pinon Coffee, the taste of enchantment.
Yeah, like you're saying, there hasn't been many stops. It's been a great flow to the game. It's really been end to end. Both teams, New Mexico United maybe could have added to the lead. Great save by Sanchez, and there's been another couple of half chances. And San Antonio have made Chris Shakes pull off that full extension save, and have had a couple of other half chances as well. So I think New Mexico United will be happy going in with the 1-goal lead if it stays there, and San Antonio will know that they are more than still in this game.
San Antonio looking for one more opportunity before the break. Hernandez cross goes into the box, dealt with by Valentin Noel. And San Antonio plays it all the way back. This is Mitch Tainter. Tainter, he can ping a long ball with the best of them. Keller goes up. He's shoved in the foul called against Patino. That's the second time Patino's been called for shoving one of the New Mexico center backs. Very physical forward there, Santiago Patino.
You can see he's a unit, and Keller there as well was what was more impressive was he still won the ball as he was falling down. Really well done and really well defended.
Well, that is the first 45 in the books. Makwele Akale, the difference maker in the 20th minute. Chris, give us your take on that first 45.
Really impressive, really fun. You can tell it's playoff soccer at its finest. Like, just end to end, really high intensity, tackles flying in, and chances at both ends. It's been a really, really fun first half.
3 goals in as many games for Makwele Akale. New Mexico into the break, up 1-0. Halftime score brought to you by First Financial Credit Union. We'll be back with some halftime.
Game on at New Mexico's ultimate game day destination, Sandia Sportsbook. With live wagering 7 days a week, Albuquerque's best sportsbook is ready for action. Bet at Sandia Sportsbook or at kiosk locations on the casino floor. Sandia Sportsbook offers amazing food and drink specials with spectacular views. Sports betting has come to Sandia. Sandia Sportsbook. Game on.
It's time to kick off a new kind of partnership. Meet Carmela from Bernalillo County Animal Care, who is ready to join the game. Your support helps give these amazing animals a chance to play, grow, and to find a loving home, just like Frank did. Visit your local shelter and discover the joy of adopting a new teammate. Together, we can make every day a winning game.
It is halftime here at the Lab, USL Championship Western Conference quarterfinal. New Mexico on top, 1-0. Miquele Akale scoring the only goal of the match so far, 20 minutes in. Let's take a look at how the USL Championship postseason is
top corner. It's Kelly with the breakthrough for the Charleston Battery. First cross coming in. The header's down and down.
Whoa. Termites can eat a pound of wood a day. 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 What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
Booking a spot in the playoffs for the first time.
This week on USL All Access, we cover all the madness that was Decision Day around the USL Championship. Now that we know the bracket, we take a look at the upcoming quarterfinal matches Saturday and Sunday around the championship. Plus, we get a chance to sit down with two legends of rowdy lore, Leo Fernandez and Forrest Lasso, hanging up their boots for the last time.
We're back here at the lab. It is halftime. Halftime brought to you by First Financial Credit Union. 1-0 lead for the hosts. Let's take a look at how we got here by way of our first half highlights, brought to you by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm. We're here for you, and we're here to win.
In the land of enchantment, every move counts. That's why you need New Mexico Orthopedics to get you back doing the things you love. the official orthopedic surgeons of New Mexico United. Somos Unidos.
Me and my girls are anything but basic. And with the First Financial's high five checking rewards rate, we basically love living our life to the fullest. We used to wear pink on Wednesdays, but now orange is the new pink, and we wear it from head to toe every day. Ew, you have a basic bank? I got this. Nothing about me is basic, not even my credit union.
First Financial Credit Union, not a basic bank.
Game on at New Mexico's ultimate game day destination, Sandia Sportsbook. With live wagering 7 days a week, Albuquerque's best sportsbook is ready for action. Bet at Sandia Sportsbook or at kiosk locations on the casino floor. Sandia Sportsbook offers amazing food and drink specials with spectacular views. Sports betting has come to Sandia. Sandia Sportsbook. Game on.
Welcome back here to the lab in Albuquerque. It is the USL Championship playoffs presented by Terminix. Tyler Ortega here alongside Chris Hurst on a beautiful fall night in the Duke City, Chris, and we're joined by almost 8,000 fans here at the lab tonight, soaking in this Western Conference quarterfinal. This is the second all-time meeting in the postseason between these two sides. Holly Holm enjoying some of the action here alongside fellow professional fighter Carlos Condit. Never know who you're going to see here at a New Mexico United match, Chris.
Yeah, definitely, and it's been great atmosphere and a buzz around the stadium. I mentioned it in the first half, that cheer for the goal. It's been a while since I've heard, and it just shows how important that goal was and how much the fans enjoyed it, and yeah, that it gave goosebumps, and it's been a really enjoyable first half, and I'm sure the fans have enjoyed it as well.
And speaking of enjoyable soccer, Chris, there has been some huge results across the USL Championship here this evening. We talked about some of them during that halftime break, but Tulsa, Colorado Springs officially headed to extra time. Could we see both number one seeds eliminated in the first round? We'll have that answer for you in about half an hour as those two getting set. But we've got 45 minutes left here at the lab, Chris. Put your coach's hat on. New Mexico, how do they see this one out?
I mean, I think the next goal is going to be key. San Antonio managed to get a goal back. Absolutely game on. New Mexico United, if they can find a way past Sanchez, and again, Sanchez really, really did his job in the latter stages of that first half. If New Mexico can get that second goal, you fear for San Antonio that might be game over at that point. But with Chris Shakes in this kind of form, and he looks really comfortable on crosses right now, I think San Antonio, they need to maybe try and get a little bit deeper, get to that end line. Can they pull it back and take the keeper out of the game? Because, again, Shakes looks like a man possessed. Anytime the ball is anywhere near his 6-yard box, he's coming to get it, no matter who's in front of him.
And Chris Shakes looking for his 5th clean sheet of the season. One of those clean sheets coming against this San Antonio side in Texas, as New Mexico will get this second half started. Valentin Noel in the center circle. Center official Joshua Encarnacion gives us the signal. And second half underway here from the lab in Albuquerque. And Valentin Noel sent that initial kickoff right into the back of the legs of our center official. don't think I've ever quite seen that before, Chris.
It's interesting, like, you know, listen to so many football, soccer podcasts as I do, where teams are doing this now. Like Valentino Noel there, he wasn't aiming for anyone. He was just trying to put the ball into an area, give San Antonio a throw in, but an opportunity for New Mexico United to press and try and win it in the attacking zone. And it's just so much changing from maybe a year, 18 months ago. Everyone's playing the tiki-taka, Pep Guardiola style. Everyone feels like you have to play out from the back and you have to pass a million times to get anywhere. And soccer's definitely gone maybe a little bit more old school, a little bit more direct, but honestly, it's probably a little more entertaining.
You talk about somebody who can ping those balls. It's Mitch Tainter. He hit a ball that was on an absolute rope last week. Found Patino, who just one touch trapped it and sent a volley right into the back of the net. Tainter, he's among the best in the league at those long balls and playing direct.
And he did one in the first half as well that nearly caught New Mexico United out as well. He played a driven ball on the ground and just split. Took the entire New Mexico United team out with one pass. And yeah, that ball he played last week just plucked out the air on his chest by Patino. And what a goal that was.
This is Kalen Ryden, the New Mexico United club legend. Ryden, his career, this is his 146th league appearance. In black and yellow. Scored 4 times in his New Mexico United career. All headers, Chris. I don't think that's any surprise to anybody. Greg Hurst looking to break forward. A bit of a deflection. Dolan Meyer wins the foot race there against Miquele Akale.
Greg Hurst, when he secured the ball there, he just kind of... There's that Hernandez that's really slow to get up. Behind the play, can't see it on the screen there, but he's only just peeled himself up off the ground. Just coming into shot there. But Greg Hurst just kind of ran into him and bounced it. That almost helped his momentum, Greg Hurst's momentum that is, going back the other direction. It looks like Hernandez has had the wind knocked out of him. It almost sprung the counter-attack for New Mexico United. San Antonio would not have been happy if that had come to anything.
Harris just looking to switch play here. How's your touch talent, Maples? Buckmaster sees this one all the way back to Sanchez. We see a lot of activity behind both benches, Chris. You see both sets of substitutes warming up. It looked there as though for a moment we might see a change for San Antonio at the half, but not quite. Here come the visitors. That cross makes it into the box, finds Patino, and Keller with the big defensive touch there for New Mexico.
Yeah, I think Tyler Maples thought that was maybe going out of play and just gave up on it a little hair too soon. Was that Flores who just full extension put the ball into the area there, and yeah, like you say, really good defending there. We talked about Keller in the first half, so strong in there as well, and almost invites contact, and he invited the contact there from Baron and manages to get the big clearance.
Noel, costly giveaway here. Soto looked to play that ball back into the middle, and instead it's going back the other way. Excuse me, that was Alexi Sawahi who had gotten forward. This is Chris Gloucester. Keller facing some pressure here. San Antonio now looking to turn the other way. Veron instead goes back to Tainter. Hernandez now able to turn. Flores gets on the end of this. Jorge Hernandez. You talk about playmakers around this league, Chris. Jorge Hernandez, he is among the best. 68 chances created this season. That is the best in the USL Championship. Greg Hurst facing some pressure there from Tainter on his shoulder. Zalalem on a yellow card. He's able to come away with it. Harris. Battle of two speedsters there on this near side between Deon Harris and Reese Buckmaster. There's Valentin Noel. He's not afraid to let him fly if he's got space. Maples has made his way forward. Zalalem. Here's Zico Bailey, former San Antonio man. Zico Bailey has been part of the 2023 season with SAFC. Made 11 appearances for the club before being acquired by New Mexico. He was one of the first players acquired by then new head coach Eric Quill. Quill's got his FC Dallas side into the postseason. Here's Harris. Just a sublime flick on there by Deon Harris. Finds Akale. Here's Greg Hurst, and the shot is blocked.
Really great play there by Harris. You can see he almost invites. That's Buckmaster on the right-hand side there. Invites the tackle and just flicks it around the corner. And Harris's first 2-3 steps are just frightening. And just gets away there and rides the challenge. Cuts across the box. Defender's terrified to touch him because he's going full pelt. And rolls the ball into Zico Bailey, I think it was there. And Greg Hurst was just licking his lips, just waiting for someone to set it. And great defending in the end by San Antonio. But isn't how quickly New Mexico United go from so patient and so slow and just go through the gears and up the tempo.
Here's San Antonio looking to ask some more questions. Flores has that ball poked away. Corner kick coming up for the visitors, but a huge playoff update there for you. FC Tulsa have finally broken through against Switchbacks. It was the second half substitute, Stefan Lukic, 92 minutes in. Still time left for Switchbacks. Time left here for San Antonio, plenty of it. Just 55 minutes gone by as Hernandez gets ready to send in this ball. Look like Keller and Ryden both going up for that ball against each other. Cross goes in from Patino and headed away by Ryden.
Really well done by Keelan Ryden there. Just took control of the situation. I'm sure there was a call by Shakes that he was going to get there and to leave it, but decided just to deal with it and got it well away from danger.
Olenmeyer looking to hit a ball forward, was looking for Buckmaster. Header won by Gloucester, but it's out for a San Antonio throw. Hawkinson, he's been relatively quiet here this evening. Hawkinson, he's somebody that's got plenty of MLS experience, over 65 appearances in the top flight, 4 goals, 4 assists in his career.
Really enjoying watching Caelan Ryden and Keller at the back here. Like, defending, I'm biased. That was my spot, right? But defending's like an art, and seeing defenders who, we're talking about going back to kind of the old school.
This ball hit forward, looking for Coutinho.
And just watching defenders enjoying to defend. They're like the slide tackles, the interceptions, every header kind of celebrated, the high fives. Just, again, the simple, the ugly things, whereas maybe the last few years, defenders have become more ball playing, and both players can do that. But the fact they're getting back to like their roots almost, and just enjoying the challenge of defending every ball into the box, like their life depends on it.
Heavy challenge there on Valentin Noel. Let's take another look here on this TLC replay. I think he might have just got raked across the top of the foot there. Looking to find Noel. He does. Valentin Noel, and New Mexico have doubled their lead. Valentin Noel scores for the second time against San Antonio this season.
Tell you what, I was just talking about Keller, how he was enjoying the challenge of defending. What a threaded pass that was, straight into stride for Valentin Noel. And it looked like maybe the chance had gone. But boy, he absolutely, he was the one that didn't think it was gone and just smashed it in the bottom corner. Sanchez, I think maybe he was caught off guard, expecting a cross to the back post. But Valentin Noel says, no, I'm going back post, and pops it in there. And that is a huge insurance goal for New Mexico United.
That's the 4th goal of the season for the Frenchman, Valentin Noel. He scored at San Antonio on July 26th in Jägermeister Cup play. He does it again in the USL Championship playoffs.
Again, that pass by Keller just there, and you can see Noel, he had a little look. Wow, what a finish, and it was a difficult angle as well. As he was moving in there, he just looks, you can see New Mexico United pouring players into the box as well, but what a finish. Under duress from Swahi. Oh, that can't save that. Almost in off the post. Like, got his angles absolutely perfect. Now, desperate times for San Antonio.
And this could be a huge ruling here from the official.
I think he's given a goal kick, and if it's a goal kick, then that means it was a dive.
A little bit of extracurriculars going on there. Our center official, Joshua Encarnacion, he's telling everybody, get away.
And Zelalem, I think Hurst just reminded Zelalem there that he was on a yellow card, and he certainly doesn't need to be in the middle of there. Patino in the middle of it. He's been a bit of an instigator tonight so far as well, and Keller just having words telling him to have a little glance at the scoreboard as well. But again, yeah, it was like, certainly went down relatively easily, and the referee definitely pointed to show it was going to be a goal kick. Mexico United now just need to be careful, because as it stands, moving on to the next round, and hate for something silly to keep them out of the next game.
And so it is a goal kick after all of that. 60 minutes gone by here at the Lab. 2-0 by way of Miquele Akale and Valentin Noel. It's New Mexico looking to take care of business here over the next half hour, see their way into the semifinal. tackles, goes to ground. Unlucky there for Dayon Harris.
That was a really interesting battle. Both Buckmaster and Harris both having a little pull at each other, a little pushing match as well, and just how strong both of those guys were. They almost cancelled each other out.
That ball picked out of the air by Zico Bailey. Here comes Zalalem. He's dispossessed. Great challenge there by Veron in the midfield. Gloucester just got that one wrong. Here's Flores. The offside flag was up on Patino anyway. I think that's the first offside tonight on SAFC, Chris.
I think that's right. But then again, you see Keller, as it's defended, just fist pump in the air in the direction of the supporters behind that goal, New Mexico United supporters, and just cheer them up again, celebrating every little victory.
Kip Keller making just his 10th appearance for New Mexico United tonight. You'd never be able to tell. So hearing of a couple of substitutions coming up here for New Mexico. We'll see those here in just a moment. And Kip Keller, he's got another reason to be happy, Chris. That ball that he pinged forward to Valentin Noel, he is credited with the assist on that goal. That's his first assist for New Mexico United.
It was an unbelievable pass, and it was very similar to the one that we talked about at halftime from Tainter as well, where it was, like just split the defense and set Noel on his way. Barely even had to trap the ball before getting his shot away. Unbelievable weight and everything, and the fact that he saw it right after I was just talking about how defenders are not passing as much, and just to prove me wrong. Great ball by Keller.
Foul called on Soto as Gloucester goes to ground. Looks like we're going to see those changes now for New Mexico, and first one we'll see on here is Usman Jabang. We're also going to see Albuquerque native Sergio Rivas entering the match here for the black and yellow. Those two will come on to replace Gideon Zalalem, who did pick up a 34th minute yellow card, and Valentin Noel, the 58th minute goal scorer. These substitutions are brought to you by Chiba Hut, toasted subs and sandwiches. Gideon Zalalem puts in a good shift here for Dennis Sanchez. Zalalem this season, 29 tackles coming into tonight, 16 interceptions in that midfield. New Mexico looking for a third. Keller gets ahead to it, but foul called there at the back post. Former New Mexico man Alexi Sawahi scooped forward by Patino. And we're going to see a couple changes here for the visitors. And so we're going to see another former New Mexico United man coming onto the pitch. This one, Nicky Hernandez. Also on for San Antonio, Alex Grieve. Alex Grieve out of Auckland, New Zealand. He's got 14 caps for the New Zealand national team. Looks like Patino's night is done. Looks like Hawkinson also came off there for San Antonio. And so some offensive reinforcements here for Carlos Llamosa, Chris.
Yeah, and it looks like Jorge Hernandez has just drifted into the 10 spot, and Nicky Hernandez, so maybe more of a, definitely a reshuffle. Going to be interesting to see how they shape up here. But there's Hernandez. He's really struggled to get on the ball, so maybe giving a little bit more of a free roll just underneath the attackers.
Flores plays this ball into the box, back post. Kalen Ryden was there for the block. Down goes Dayon Harris. As Rivas concedes the throw-in here, and New Mexico United fans worried as Dayon Harris has gone down. Everybody holding their breath here for Dayon Harris. Dayon Harris, a native of Milton, Canada. Getting with a look here and just goes down in that challenge. So the trainer on to look at Harris. So while Dayon Harris is tended to, I'd like to let you know, fans, that you can keep watching all the exciting postseason action as the USL playoffs presented by Terminix continue through November. The top teams battle it out for the ultimate prize. Go to USLChampionship.com for all the latest playoff information. Dayon Harris still being looked at by the trainer. Wouldn't be surprised, obviously, at this point if he comes off, Chris. New Mexico with a 2-0 lead. So Harris still receiving some attention. It looks to be the ankle area that they're focusing on, and they're still receiving attention. Fans Select, they're proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big leagues, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. So good news there for the black and yellow faithful. Dayon Harris not only up on his feet, but walking off under his own power, especially considering the knee injury that we saw him sustain last August, Chris, that not only ended his season early, but caused him to miss the vast majority of this one as well.
No, yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's what everyone was thinking at the time, and, you know, us included, right? And it was almost a relief seeing that it was his ankle that was getting looked at the most. The fact now he's already back on the pitch, so I think it was just maybe a little bit of a scare. It just looked a little awkward, a little clumsy, the tackle. Maybe his foot got caught underneath him and just rolled. And yeah, like I say, after you've come back from an injury like that, it does mess and play with your mind a little bit as well.
There's Alexi Sawahi, finds Soto. Almir Soto. Colombian, the 31-year-old. It's his first season in USL Championship. Joins his compatriot Santiago Patino on the San Antonio squad. Shakes, looking like a wide receiver there, Chris. Look, I know he played at Penn State. He could play for the Nittany Lions football team.
I heard that just the desire to make sure that every single aerial ball that is coming into the box that his centre backs aren't dealing with, he's trying to make sure in there. Like you say, it was like a bucket catch. It wasn't a textbook goalkeeper catch, hands above head, claiming it at its highest point. It was full extension diving like what you would see tomorrow. You see how high, so like the change, not necessarily in personnel, but for San Antonio, Buckmaster, he was playing pretty deep, and it was very much a back five in the first half for San Antonio. This second half, he's playing on that last line. They're playing San Antonio almost playing with a front four right now.
That foul called on Dayon Harris, a step late that time. He's going to go into the officials' book. This sets up a set piece in a dangerous area here for San Antonio. So looks like Soto right now is the last one to touch it. Soto looking for his first goal in his USL Championship career. Also standing over that ball is Jorge Hernandez. He's no stranger to finding the back of the net. 11 goals this season for SAFC. Looks like Soto's going to take this one and fakes the run. Hernandez left foot, right at Chris Shakes.
Saw it all the way there, Shakes, and Soto almost tried to get Shakes to step one way or the other to help Hernandez be able to put it in the other corner, but didn't flinch, ended up right down his throat.
Well, before that one there, Chris, it had been 30 minutes since San Antonio last attempted a shot in this match. Play on, said the official, but the advantage no longer there, so he'll call this one back. It was Nicky Hernandez who was fouled there in the center circle. So off the free kick, Chris Shakes flying through the air like Superman that time, Chris. This a bad turnover here for New Mexico. Gloucester able to come in and get a foot to it. And eventually cleared away by Ousmane Jabang. Couple of incoming subs for New Mexico, just looking to get some fresh legs on there, Chris, and get some defensive reinforcements. This ball hit long for Flores. Flores has put in an absolute shift here tonight.
Yeah, both he and Buckmaster, the two wing backs in the second half, are playing about 30, 35 yards higher up the field, but still getting through their defensive work as well.
Naples hits this one high into the Albuquerque sky. Comes back down to Hernandez, and what a challenge there by Ousmane Jabang. Keller taken out, and absolutely yellow card coming out of the pocket there of Joshua Encarnacion. Very late challenge, perhaps a little bit of frustration there from Jorge Hernandez, Chris.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, a frustrated out there. It almost seemed like he slipped at the last second as well. Whereas he was maybe trying to pull out. I can't imagine. No, he stayed. Yeah, he kind of tried to pull out, but waited too long there. Again, Kellis has been having a battle with the attacking players of San Antonio, and I just feel like it's something that he relishes.
So the yellow card shown there to Jorge Hernandez. That yellow card brought to you by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm. And we now have those 2 substitutions we're referencing just a couple of minutes ago. And on for New Mexico, defender Jalen Lindsay and forward Luther Archimed. They're on to replace Dayon Harris, who just picked up that yellow card and picked up that knock. Also forward Greg Hurst. Those substitutions brought to you by Chiba Hut, toasted subs and sandwiches. Crowd starting to get involved here, Chris. 77 minutes in the books here at the Lab in Albuquerque. San Antonio looking for a lifeline here at this stage. Shakes comes in to clear that one away. Ahead of a rushing Alex Grieve.
Yeah, Grieve just read that from a mile away. You could see what Maples was going to do, and he set off early, and Shakes alive to it as well, and got off his line and cleared the danger.
Here's Dolan Meyer. Soto goes back to the captain, Mitch Tainter. So a triple change coming up here for Carlos Llamosa. And Chris, it is truly do or die time for San Antonio. 3 changes coming up here. It's Harvey Neville, Jimmy Medranda, and Diogo Pacheco all coming on. They're on to replace Reese Buckmaster, Almir Soto, and Lucio Veron. Substitutions again brought to you by Chiba Hut. So Llamosa, he's throwing everything he has at this one now, Chris. Here's Medranda in the midfield. Medranda, another Colombian on this San Antonio squad. That is 3 of them between him, Patino, and Soto. Diogo Pacheco in his first season with San Antonio. Spent last season with Tulsa. He scored 4 goals for the Scissortails last year, one of those being here at the Lab. Just 10 minutes plus stoppage time remaining here in this one. Well, these last 10 minutes couldn't go any faster for that guy we just saw on the screen, Dennis Sanchez. I mentioned earlier, this wouldn't be the first playoff game that he's won here at the Lab. Doing so with Las Vegas last season in the Western Conference semifinal. This ball given away. New Mexico looking to put the nail in the coffin, and Rivas goes off the post.
I think that was another great save by Sanchez. I think Sanchez pushed it onto the post there. Rivas' first time shot, got a ton of power on it as well, and Sanchez pushes it away.
Sergio Rivas, the Albuquerque native, went to Cibola High School, making his 132nd USL appearance for his hometown club. Bailey goes back to Kalen Ryden. Here's Rivas. Finds Makwele Akale. 20th minute goal scorer, Makwele Akale. New Mexico just in possession here, and finally San Antonio able to close him down, but all the way back to Kalen Ryden. Rivas has to be careful. That was a heavy touch there from Sergio Rivas. Looking for Maples, and this is exactly what San Antonio wanted, as that cross dealt with by Usman Jabang. He does well to see that out for a throw-in.
Yeah, just a little careless in possession there, and it's happened a couple of times in the last 5-10 minutes for New Mexico United. Maybe just a little lapse in concentration. Need to make sure that they keep things tight.
Sanchez all the way up near the center circle. You see big Noah Dolenmeyer. He's moved up from the back line here for San Antonio as well. How tall is he, Chris? 6'7"?
I wonder how many parents' eyes or teachers' eyes just rolled listening to that.
Zico Bailey now plays this up ahead for Arshamed. What a challenge from Mitchell Tainter. Nicky Hernandez delivers the free kick. Header finds Dolenmeyer. This could be trouble. Shot attempt blocked. And eventually, no problem for Shakes. Well, we knew it was going to be a good crowd here tonight, and our official attendance figure brought to you by New Mexico Mutual, 8,287. Looking to witness the second playoff home victory in club history here tonight. New Mexico just 5 minutes plus stoppage away from doing so. San Antonio looking to build up some possession here as Tainter hits a long ball. It goes all the way back to Shakes. And fans, we'd like to let you know that the soccer postseason is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. You can get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. All of our fans in attendance here tonight at the Lab got all of their tickets from SeatGeek, being the official ticketing provider of New Mexico United. And so, depending on how things play out here over the next 10 minutes or so, and then in Sacramento tomorrow, we might be jumping back on SeatGeek to get some more playoff tickets here at the Lab. Playoff update from Southwest University Park. Scoreless so far between Western Conference rivals El Paso Locomotive and Phoenix Rising. You now see the New Mexico United veteran Will Seymour. He's on to make his 110th USL Championship appearance for New Mexico United. He replaces the goal scorer, a deserved curtain call from Miquel Akale, Chris.
Yeah, for sure, and it's just, you can see the desperation from San Antonio, where now they're playing with a front six, which is including a 6'6", not 6'7", Dollenmeyer, and now New Mexico United very much in a back five, but with Chris Gloucester just ahead there as well. That's almost turned into a back six as well. Just trying to shut up shop and no drama in the final 4 minutes plus stoppage time.
Maples in to get ahead that time. Flicked on by Jabang. Gloucester looking to get down to that corner. Instead, pumps the brakes. Gloucester goes all the way back to Shakes now. Maples just gets rid of it. And it's out for a throw-in. Well, fans, if you can't watch the match, you can turn on at SiriusXM FC 157. That's North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus, you can hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM FC 157 and the new SiriusXM app. Huge challenge there in the midfield. San Antonio retained possession. '88th minute here in Albuquerque at the Lab. This cross goes in. And climbing the back that time of Kip Keller was Noah Dollenmeyer. 6'6", can still use a little bit of a boost.
That might be the only way that Keller loses an aerial duel this evening, but the size difference and just the positioning of Keller, he just gets early position and doesn't even try and hide it, and I think he still actually won the header as well.
Well, you can't fault Noah Dollenmeyer for trying in that situation. Knowing how dire the situation is here for San Antonio FC, season hanging in the balance. Gloucester able to get the initial touch to it, but already coming back the other way with San Antonio. Can't imagine there's going to be a ton of stoppage time. We really only had the one Deon Harris injury. Took maybe 2-3 minutes. Nothing like the 10 minutes of stoppage that we saw between Switchbacks and FC Tulsa. Which, by the way, huge result for FC Tulsa there in extra time as the #1 seed escapes 1-0 over defending champions Colorado Springs. So there will be a new champion in the USL Championship this season, Chris.
The assistant coach for New Mexico United sprinted down the sideline, said something to the referee, and now New Mexico United have a free kick. I'm not quite sure what else happened.
Shakes, sticks a boot through it. We make our way into second half stoppage time. 5 minutes added on here. Stoppage time brought to you by New Mexico Pinon Coffee. A taste of enchantment. Here's Seymour, is looking to connect with Gloucester as New Mexico looking for the nail in the coffin, Chris.
Yeah, and you can see, I mean, San Antonio just throwing the kitchen sink up the other end. New Mexico United had the numbers there, just couldn't quite find that final pass.
Seymour in no hurry here to take this throw in for New Mexico. There's Archimed really utilizing that big frame of his. Naples has that one deflected. San Antonio looking to counter. Here's Grieve. And Talon Maples showing off the wheels.
Yeah, just using his experience, just easing him off the ball as well. Didn't even need to go to ground. Just nudged him. That's my ball.
Usman Jabang now ushering this ball all the way back to the other side. Swahi plays this across. Swahi gets it back. Cross blocked by Gloucester. One looked to it, just caught him right in the ribs there, Chris. That one hurt.
I'm guessing Neville had a little word with him, because Gloucester is suddenly not hurt in the ribs anymore and is definitely that was a really, really interesting reaction there. I'll be curious to hear what Harvey Neville had to say there to get Chris Gloucester so riled up.
Well, there were exactly 3 words that I will repeat that I could make out from the lips of Chris Gloucester, and it's, what's the score? So Gloucester absolutely definitely heard something he didn't like there. Looking, and that just speaks to the magnitude of the moment. These are professionals. This is their livelihood. They live to play this game. Time winding down on the season here for San Antonio FC. The crowd here at the Lab can almost taste victory, Chris.
Yeah, you see every header, every tackle, every time Shakes grabs the ball or plucks the ball out of the air, it's cheered by the fans, and they know that there's a chance. There's a chance that there might be another home game if results tomorrow go their way, but at least New Mexico United moving on to the next round.
Headed away by Ryden. San Antonio, they're going to throw everything forward. Less than 90 seconds of the minimum 5 added minutes left here as this ball goes into the box from Grieve. Looking to get a penalty call. One of the San Antonio players, I think that was Nicky Hernandez actually. And now Hernandez just runs into the back of Talon Maples, and Nicky Hernandez whistled for the foul. The 2 former teammates coming together that time.
Yeah, I think the frustration just boiled over there for Hernandez. He was getting a little bit of treatment from the fans when he came on the pitch, and I believe those 2 guys were pretty tight when Nicky Hernandez was here at New Mexico United as well, but no love lost there over the last couple of minutes.
Jabang sticks a boot through it. Last chance here for San Antonio. Lindsay sees it out for a throw in, And that's the full-time whistle. New Mexico on to the conference semifinal as they beat San Antonio FC by a score of 2-0 here at the Lab. Mukwele Akale in the 20th minute, followed by Valentin Noel in the 58th minute. And Chris, New Mexico has defeated San Antonio in the postseason for the second time.
And a little more comfortable this time, we'd say as well, but New Mexico United, great. When the chances came, took their chances. Sanchez, to be fair, pulled off 2 great saves, or else the scoreline could have been worse. And New Mexico United looked absolutely solid at the back.
Look at the excitement from Mukwele Akale. He's your player of the match. Valentin Noel, your man of the match, presented by Pepsi. And Chris Shakes also getting in there. The clean sheet. Valley Defensive Player of the Match. What a performance in goal tonight from Chris Shakes.
Yeah, absolutely solid. Dealt with everything that came his way. And there you can see the goalkeeper union, Tambak, is one of the first ones to go over and shake his hand despite losing his place to him.
Well, New Mexico pick up their second home playoff win.
Game on at New Mexico's ultimate game day destination, Sandia Sportsbook. With live wagering 7 days a week, Albuquerque's best sportsbook is ready for action. Bet at Sandia Sportsbook or at kiosk locations on the casino floor. Sandia Sportsbook offers amazing food and drink specials with spectacular views. Sports betting has come to Sandia. Sandia Sportsbook. Game on.
Well, it's a celebration in Albuquerque as New Mexico are advancing on to the Western Conference semifinal with a 2-0 victory over San Antonio FC. Chris, let's relive the action with our full-time highlights. Those full-time highlights are brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. And it was Mukwele Akale scoring for the 3rd time in 3 matches, Chris, just 20 minutes.
the draw falls.
Well, they'll be partying well into the night here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, into round